What's up, guys? Look, I want to do a variety of videos for y'all. The concept of smart flipping is flipping in many different niches. I do have most of my success currently in phones, but that's just more because that's what I'm familiar with. Some of the other things that I've flipped in other niches, they're either not as consistent based on my efforts, or they're not as consistent based on what I find in my area, but that could be very different where you are. So today I want to talk about flipping in the toys, kind of in the toys niche. What I found is a lot of parents, they buy. They get all these Nerf guns, they get all these Legos, and then at some point they say their kids aren't playing with them, like all toys, and then they say, okay, we're getting rid of this shit, and they get rid of it all at once. They list it all in one little thing. And it's a bad deal for them, but it's a convenience factor. They don't have to sell it in a bunch of different pieces. So that's kind of the that's a concept that we're running. I mean, we're buying it. Sometimes we're buying bulk. We're breaking these things down, and we're willing to do multiple meetups to meet with people. Now, granted, based on your income level, that might not be something you're willing to do. But at some point, I'm going to be teaching like land flipping and car flipping, and you know what? You might be buying 10 acres and chopping that up into 10 1 acres and then reselling that. And it's all the same thing. It's just a different level of income per your effort. So anyway, a few months back, I found this guy selling. He had a pile of Nerf guns. It looked like 30 of them. He had a gaming chair and he had a ton of Legos, and it was all $100. And so part of my concept too is like, how do you get your kids gifts for either free or cheap? How do you get the gifts for their friends cheap? How do you get stuff that you know that they're gonna want in the future for next to nothing? Or how do you get them things that you know that they're just gonna discard in like a week or two? Man, that's all toys. I mean, as adults, we're the same. We buy a new car, it gets old after a week. Kids are the same. They do this over and over and over again. So anyway, this guy had like 30 Nerf guns. I started looking at them and pricing them just real quick, and I knew, okay, this thing's a good deal, right? The gaming chair, I knew I could probably get, I was thinking $50 for. I think he said he paid $150 for it. And then the Legos, it just looked like a ton, you know? It looked like $50 worth of Legos. So I'm like, okay, that's $100 right there. And even if I sold all the guns for $5-10 a piece, you know, this is going to be a flip. I also do flips with my son in mind, meaning like I get him to take the pictures and help me list stuff so he understands these concepts. I don't want him to have a job for the rest of his life or ever, you know, for that matter. And so here were the numbers. Here it ended up being the real numbers. I bought it for $100. I sold the chair for $30. I sold the Legos for $30. I sold two of the Nerf guns for $45, so I'm back $95 with 4 meetups. And they got a lot of use and play out of these Nerf guns. They actually stripped down a lot of the Legos. They kept some of the Legos that they wanted to keep. So we got some free Legos. We got a ton of free time with Nerf guns, so there's not like any issue like I never have good Nerf guns, because some of these guns were badass. And I just relisted the Nerf gun set for $75 and have a guy wanting to come get it today or tomorrow. And so at the end of the day, that's not this massive profit deal. But if you didn't have kids, or you didn't want to do this setup that I did this sort of as like a practical thing, not a profit thing. You could do this a few times a week for sure, because I've done this with Hot Wheels, some of those bigger setups with the big old garage swirly thing that goes down. And anyway, I'm 75% on my money. I got a bunch of free Legos, a ton of free time with the toys. And really the main point of this video is you're looking out for parents that are just going ahead and throwing out this crazy no-brainer deal with tons of Nerf guns, tons of Legos, tons of, you know, whatever it is that you feel like probably could sell per piece at a level where people are actually going to come and pick it up. So if it's like, if it's something that sells for like $5 or less, that's probably not going to be much of a seller, or it's going to be something you're going to have to bundle together with something else. And let's be honest, you don't want to spend your time for a $5 sale anyway. Guys, that wraps it up for this video. If you have any questions, please post them below. Let me know how I can help you find some deals. I'll be more than happy to spend some time in your area doing some searching. Peace.